Oh, that's so much better. Hello, everybody. I just did a live, but I deleted it because the Wi-Fi was not great, and I also thought it kind of sucked. So I'm going to redo it. So if you just listened to this, you get to listen to it again. Let me know that you are here. Give me a heart, thumbs up, or a comment down below. Let me know that you're checking in today. Hello, whoever just tuned in. It's Friday, and it's the afternoon, and some of you on the East Coast are already done for the day. I'm here in Arizona and enjoying the hot weather, actually. It's actually cooler here than it is in Seattle, where I left yesterday. And we are going to be talking about cheating on your food plan today. A very hot topic, because so many of my clients are either doing the 3-day reset, or they're doing a Whole30, or they're doing paleo, or if you're vegetarian, or if you don't do any gluten, or whatever it is, there's always this opportunity to cheat, to fall off the wagon. And this weekend, I had a situation where I was in a social group, and it was later in the evening, and we'd had a couple cocktails, and somebody brought out a whole bunch of junk food, and I was reaching for something, and someone said, "Oh my gosh, you eat those?" Absolute shock, like I had stabbed somebody or something. And it got me thinking about this whole idea of making food choices, adult food choices, intelligent food choices. And I want to talk about that a little bit today. I'm going to put the blog post below because I did write about this subject. And so if you'd rather just read the blog post, then you can just click on that link. But we're going to get started here real shortly. And I just wanted to give a chance for those tuning in to tune in. And we're going to go. So, no cheating, just choices. We'll talk about that subject today. How many times have you fallen off the food wagon or binge eaten something or whatever and felt so guilty and so yucky the next day or later that night or whatever the case may be? It's interesting how much emotion goes around that idea of things we choose to put in our bodies or not, as far as nutrition goes. And for some, and even for me at certain times in my life, because I am a recovering food binger, food addict, way overeater, I've had tons of those times where I've cried, where I've beaten myself up, where I've said, "You're weak, you're never going to be able to do this." I've had clients tell me that they tell themselves horrible things after making a bad food choice or falling off the wagon. Even things like, they don't like themselves. They hate themselves. They think they're weak. They're lame. They're never going to be skinny. They're never going to fit into those jeans. They're never going to look like her or him. That inner bully rears their ugly head and starts being very, very mean to us when we make those food decisions. And it's interesting how emotional it can become. I want to talk about the definition of cheating. The word cheating, because it means to act dishonestly or unfairly to gain advantage. So to act dishonestly or unfairly to gain advantage. It's a word we use in conjunction with cheating on a spouse, not being honest on our taxes. It's pretty harsh to put that in line with picking up a cupcake or eating too many cookies, but we do. And the problem is when we assign that word cheating to food behavior, well, when we elect to eat those wrong things or we make decisions not in line, it's not actually cheating, it's a choice. There's two problems with calling it cheating. The shame and blame game, the shaming and the blaming that goes on after a poor food choice can often be more damaging than the food choice itself, because it can go on for a long time for some people. And that's hurtful to your body. And that's far worse than any kind of, food binge you could have done or anything. So we need to disemotionalize that whole concept of shaming and blaming after a bad food choice. Number 2, your adult pants. Let's pull them up. When we use the word cheating in regard to food behavior, it's a cop-out. It's weak. And you're not weak. It's powerless, and you're not powerless. You are mega strong, and if you elect to eat off plan, that is your choice. You are a big person. You get to make that choice. And it's empowering. So instead of going, oh, I cheated, it's much different to say, I made a choice to eat off plan. You see the difference? So here's what we want to do. When we elect to eat off plan, we ascribe it as a choice, not cheating, because you and I are adults and we're in charge of our eating. There is no time for the shame and blame game. The emotional fallout is too toxic. The other thing we can say to ourselves is, I am a powerful being with adult pants. I get to make non-emotionally based decisions regarding my food. If you choose to eat off plan, you will boldly face the consequences of doing that and move on. Move forward. Own it. Every time you eat, or I eat, it's a new opportunity to make the best choice possible for your body. And no food choice that you made in the past should influence the food choice you're making now. So we don't punish ourselves. We don't starve ourselves. We don't deny ourselves healthy foods or healthy amounts of food because we blew it. Brent Lee grabs Pringles. See? Love it when people are honest about their food vices. M&Ms. Brent was at the social gathering I was referring to at the beginning of this Facebook Live, and it was my fist that was wrist deep in a bag of M&Ms when the question came up. So that was the start of this whole thing. So yes, best possible food choices for my body. There's no punishment. There's no living in the past. There's no kind of trying to undo what you did. You just move forward. And when you ascribe it as a choice, it's empowering because you are strong and you are in charge of your food choices because you're an adult with adult pants. Synonyms for cheating: swindle, defraud, scam. These are some pretty hefty terms to associate with a vanilla cupcake or Pringles in some people's case. So I want you to think about that this week. I want you to think about, what are you saying to yourself when you're making a bad food choice? I want you to start to de-emotionalize the whole concept because it's food. It shouldn't be an emotional fallout that happens every time you eat or every time you eat off plan. So we de-emotionalize it and we can ask a couple of questions. We can say, why did we make this choice? And try to learn from it. And then we can say, how can we plan for better choices next time? I know for myself, there's a whole trifecta that happens: late at night, TV, and alcohol. Those three send me into a tailspin of poor eating choices. And I take full ownership of them, and what I try to do is plan so that I find myself in that situation as little as possible. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh boy. No, I'm ignoring you, Brent. Hi, Emily. I know it's for a lot of people. The whole late night, you had a glass of wine and now it's your glass of wine needs a second glass of wine and your second glass of wine needs gravy fries. I know it's hard. But the less we emotionalize it, the less we ascribe that to it, the more we can be honest with ourselves about the choices that we're making. We can plan more efficiently for the future. Okay, who has questions? Come on, Brent. I know you've got a question. Okay, leave your questions down below and let me know of any other Friday Facebook Live topics you want to hear about. Otherwise, I'm going to just start doing my own stuff. And that might not be as interesting as some things that you want to hear about. So let me know and have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.